Sticker potions. And, well, we looked at one weapon before. But now we must look at the weapon. The one that teased me for many days. That weapon. You know which one I'm talking about already, don't you? That weapon is this. The candy rod. Oh, I made a whole video when I saw this thing initially. I felt teased. The thing looks so cute, I just wanted to rip it from Cure Whip's hands. I now have it. And yes, you know how I said it looked like the sweet Poron over there? I still don't know how you pronounce that. It's like Japanese RL things. You don't pronounce them like an R or an L, it's this weird sound. Can't pronounce it, so don't blame me if I keep saying that. Looks like this from Do-Re-Mi. And it said the Princess Candle, which looks like a certain other weapon from Sailor Moon. And the one that ripped off, I mean nothing. But we're going to bring them all up. And the laptop is here for the usual comparisons. Obviously, to compare it to its anime counterpart. I don't have I need Anime Studio Pro and Core Effects. But I don't have either. I don't have Adobe Premiere Pro either. That's bad. That means I can't do any cool editing. Also means that if there's lots of pauses, I won't be able to cover them up. That's what makes me nervous about recording, because I can't cut off any weird pauses I do when I speak. So it's kind of concerning, especially if a compulsive behavior comes along. See, here it is. Candy rod. And the things I say it's also inspired by. Oh yeah, we forgot about Flower Tact here. I'll tell you why that one I consider some form of inspiration. We're going to be comparing them one by one. Now obviously we need to compare it first. So we pull in here. Because something I noticed in a video before I got it, they had both of the weapons right beside each other, and they were like the same size. And I was like, okay, they're not just inspired. They decided to go all out and make it the same size as it. And yes, the bottom part, it looks like they based it on it. Look at that. Look at how that bottom part curves exactly. Except this part is like a cap on it. This one doesn't. Well, it kind of does, but it's not as over exaggerated as that thing. By the way, I think that white at the bottom is cream coming out of it. I think that is cream with a star on the end of it. But then we go to the middle part. They're very different there. Then we get to the top. Look, they are nearly the same size. I don't think I have them lined up that much, but they are nearly the same size. And yeah, it's pretty obvious they had to be inspired. This is the one thing that people point out on the internet. Oh, it's based on Do-Re-Mi. I can see the inspiration. Yes. Now here's my weird inspirations I brought up. Originally I just had the drawings for reference. But now we have the actual toy, so I can really compare them. Now, the Princess Candle. There's one thing that I consider inspired, and that's this section where there's 5 hearts going in the order. Cure Happy, Cure Sunny, Cure Peace, Cure March, and Cure Beauty. On this one we have Cure Whip, Cure Custard, Cure Gelato, Cure Macaron, and Cure Chocolat. Or Chocolate, but see, it's missing the E. The thing about both of them is, the things coming down this top part, they're actually the same sort of order. Like, they're based on the order when the Pretty Cures joined the team. For example, here's Smile Pretty Cure. As you can see, this over here is the first appearance of each of these decor, aka the episode where that girl became a Pretty Cure. You can see it's 1 per episode, and it goes in the order pink, red, yellow, green, blue. If you look at the colors of the hearts, they are the same: pink, red, yellow, green, blue. They're in the same order, the order from when the first Pretty Cure joined and when the last one joined. They're on the Princess Candle. However, although there's no evidence here, I've been keeping an eye on this series since it first started. KiraKira Pretty Cure, or KiraKira Pretty Cure. Don't know what kind of weird accent I'm supposed to put on for that, but oh well. I've been keeping an eye on this series since the beginning, and I know that they did get introduced in this order. They got introduced Cure Whip, Cure Custard, Cure Gelato, Cure Macaron, Cure Chocolat. They were introduced in that same order. So again, is this coincidence, or were they inspired by the Princess candle, which is in itself based on something else? This is based on something else. But it's like suspicious. They're placed in the same order from top to bottom. By the way, you remember whenever we saw the Pretty Cures and they had their fingers on their stars? And I was like, those things must be buttons. Just want to confirm that right now. Yes, they are buttons. Just want to confirm that. Those stars you're seeing them put their fingers on are buttons. It's confirmed. What's weird is another thing here is a button. What's weird about the candy rod is just how initially when you get it, it looks like this. Like the golden thing you think would be a part of the bow, but it's not. Initially it looks like this random pink thing with that little gold thing with the cute cake on it. Unfortunately you can't see that cute looking cake, which is their insignia. But whenever you stick one of these on, like Cure Whips, of course I have Cure Whips on, she's the cutie. No, Cure Custard you don't count. You try too hard to be a cutie. Even Cure Gelato would be approved by me before that. But still, yes. With the bow on, it's still there. The thing is, it in itself is a button. This thing right here is a button. Oh, and there you can see the cake. But now let's get on to the last comparison before I get too far ahead. This weapon is also weird. It is nearly the same size, just like the other one. I'm trying to line them up, and it's really hard to do it on this bed. Our next comparison is to the Flower Tact from Heartcatch Pretty Cure. Now when looking at them, look at, like, this one I just realized is really similar. I say this one is similar, but it's only in terms of height. This one is the least likely similarity, but wow. I'll get to why I think they're similar in a second, but their proportions match up. Look, the bottom parts, they're basically the same height. These things in the middle are also like the same height. These, if you imagine this part being like a square or like a rectangle surrounding that area which this one's at, which by the way, I think this is a really cute little girly detail, then if you imagine them like with a line going across to compare them, you would see they are the same height. This middle part is nearly the same height. These are almost at the same height. And they both have a golden thing below their transparent part that lights up. Now it's a cute cake on that, you can see it even clearer than the other one. Something which the drawing version doesn't have. Again, 3D models capture everything. But yes, this one is the closest comparison I've seen. I didn't think this one would match up so similarly. Also, I wish that this one had the heart in it, but I don't know where the pink heart went. I'm worried I might have lost it already. I'm gonna have to go with Cure Marines. I want to Cure Blossom. She's one of my favorites. Cure Marine's so cute though, I'll bet. She's not like other blue Pretty Cures. Okay, fine, this one's cool. Cure Gelato, you're cool. Not trying to make some sort of ice cream pun or anything. I've come to realize that all magical girl weapons, if they are a wand, they seem to have the same size. This is better than that first video. I mean, the Love Heart Arrow basically had no comparison. There's like no comparison. I've only seen one other bow and arrow. Okay, I've seen two. There's one in Madoka. There's another one in Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha, yeah. That one I looked at when I was corrupting Game Boy games, that cute girl. She has a bow. I don't know if I'd want to own it because it doesn't seem as cute as the Love Heart Arrow. But let's get to the point. That could never match up. But look at this. Very similar proportions. Yet again, each of the individual sections are a similar height. Now they're even more lined up. Now you can really see that although the hearts have more space in between them than these stars, still is pretty obvious. Every Pretty Cure weapon lines up exactly. In fact, not just Pretty Cure. Even things from different franchises. Apparently this is also made by Toei or Bandai. I guess it would... No wait, the anime is Toei. Bandai probably made the toy for all we know. Yeah, Bandai made it as well. Maybe it's less of a rip-off than I thought. But still. still doesn't change that even in different franchises, the wands still match up in terms of size, and all their proportions roughly match up. I mean, there are some differences. This one is like way lower than this one, but it's probably because of that sphere, which, by the way, it's one of the most inaccurate things I've seen in a Pretty Cure toy. I mean, compared to its 3D model and drawing forms. We should get to that right now. Let's compare it to the toy. Buy it today! Because you know that this is one of those screens you only see if you look at a screenshot board. Like, whenever an episode happens, there's random screenshots by a bunch of anonymous people, like 4chan or something. It really reminds me of 4chan, since there's so many anonymous people, it's insane. But still, I digress. You can still see, this is what will come up on the TV whenever they advertise the toy. I think this is one of the best looking pictures of the toy, but it looks like the, of course, official pictures. So it's a question about the editing, the light would not look like that. But one of the things you might spot when you look at the toy is that giant pink star right there. There's a big pink star, right, in that sphere. But if you look at its anime counterpart, even when it's an obvious 3D model, doesn't matter if it's obvious 3D model or not. You still can see there's no big stars. All of the kirakiraru or kirakiraru or whatever is basically all the same size stars, all in there. Yeah. But yet when you look at the toy, there are these big stars in there with like giant outlines, like the white outlines from Baby First TV. It's a weird comparison to bring up, but it reminds me that the white outlines, they don't exist in real life. In this sphere, there are big stars like that one, and wow, I did not notice they're actually 3D stars. When I saw the official pictures like this one, I thought they were just flat colored stars, and I thought that's gonna look boring. Those giant stars actually have sides on them, like you see as I rotate around it. It has sides on it. Did not know that. Apparently there's big kirakiraru in real life, even bigger than the kirakiraru in the anime. So yes, this is kirakiraru in real life. There's the stars. They're suspiciously 3D, even in real life. They look pretty similar, I'll admit, the small stars, but the big ones are new. You didn't see them in those anime screenshots, you only see it in pictures of the merchandise. Problem is, it's really hard to pick this up because I have my one hand trying to hold this thing still. And this tablet can wobble around a lot. But yes. Now you can see how big my hand is in comparison to this thing. Yeah, obviously not designed for adults. Quite a cute weapon though. So anyways, why do I keep comparing it to the Flower Tact? That's really hard to show off. See that? Oh, and it's not the blue one. Gelato. Be impressed. But yes, it's spun around. What else has done that? Oh, let's bring up this weapon. It spins around as well. And it spins around on the same axis. We even saw it matches up with the proportions. It's pretty obvious though when Bandai's coming up with these new weapons for each season. It's obvious they base them on like a template. Just like those happy birthday pictures we looked at where all the girls were in suspiciously similar positions. It's probably a template internally that they use. That's why that all of them have the same proportions, so they can just base all of the toys on the same internal workings, and then they can just put a new look on the outside, modify a few button positions, and boom, they now have a new weapon. That's why mainly the tip only lights up. That's why you don't see other parts of it lighten up. Oh yeah. So that's why I want to point that out about the toy. One of its main inaccuracies is that it has giant stars in it. There's not just a small kind from the anime. It's like, what is Toei implying, or Bandai? Real life has more kirakiraru than this, whatever this universe in Japan is. I mean, you know, all these anime usually take place in Japan, but there's some weird version of Japan. I mean, I kind of would like this world, except for the language, because I would not know it. But still, other than that, these anime worlds look pretty awesome. I'm not saying they're not awesome or something. Random girls turning into this with no stupid eye overlapping hair nonsense. Cure Chocolat's the perfect one to demonstrate. But now let's look closely at the drawing and 3D versions. Now this one, again, you might wonder, but Xane, how can you tell if it's drawing? Or how can you tell if it's 3D? I can tell if they include details that they forget in the drawing versions. Could I just remind you of a picture? There's no cute cake up there. There's no cute cake right there. They always seem to miss out on those details. But the sphere in the middle still looks 3D, and there's some pictures where it looks really low quality, like right here. Look at those stars, they're embarrassing! Is that how high quality they can draw the stars until they make them all suspiciously 3D? I mean, really, these have to be 3D, but then how do they combine drawing and 3D in the same picture on the same weapon? Normally it's the whole weapon is 3D and the girl's 2D. They're trying new things in this season, what did I say? But yeah, in some pictures the sphere still looks 3D. It's like, it's inconsistent. It can be a drawing and 3D at the same time. It's like, they're trying to throw me off. They will not succeed at throwing me off with this candy rod. Anyways, we can tell that unlike the other one, this is a 3D model because it has the cake right there. Very hard to see, but there's the cake with the giant P on top of it. Compared to this picture, there's no cake. And I just realized something. They made it that unrealistic blue color. On this one, they made it an unrealistic blue color, when in real life, it's gray. I don't know why they keep messing that up. Bandai, you might as well tint it blue, just so it matches up with the anime's even 3D model version. That means that the 3D model is not exactly the toy. I mean, obviously this middle part is kind of different. It has like lines inside it and giant stars. I digress. I still consider this the closest to owning the weapon in real life anyone could ever do. Don't be embarrassed to own a little girl's toy if you want to own these cute things. That cute things like this held. Oh no. Wait, where's the comparison picture? I was expecting to have a picture of her from the opening because that's the one that has the suspiciously 3D sphere. I really have to go get that. You know where I'm going to get it from. Okay, I got it. It looks kind of blurry because it comes from my video. I can't access my older laptop, and my last backup was before I got the candy rod pictures. It seemed to be a good job at not having random stupid pauses in my dialogue. That's good. I hope to always stay this fast, but when my mind interferes and when my head feels weird, I just can't help it. Anyways, so now we have a big comparison because Cure Custard here is strange. She not only tries too hard to look cute, I mean nothing, but she always has the weapon above her head in a certain fashion. 3 different pictures, she has it above her head in the same fashion, same angle. What is up with that? Cure Custard, you could be a bit more creative than that with your cute little weapon. I'd be really jealous of you owning that if they didn't make merchandise of it. I'd be so jealous. Anyways, so let's compare it since it looks the same in 3 different pictures. So on this one, oh no, are you being Cure Chocolat? What is up with these simplistic stars? That tells me why. That confirms my suspicion. Those stars have to be pre-rendered 3D. They have to be 3D. Even though the dome has that drawing-like outline, or at least this is fake reflection nonsense. Because, look at that! It looks really 3D. The stars look too overly detailed. They don't have outlines. They just stand out from the rest of the weapon. But then here they look really different. It looks like they're really trying to obscure it with lots of ridiculous reflections. Probably for the light up there, but I don't know. The tip probably doesn't light up that much, come on. But yeah, that tells me something. This is what it looks like when it's all a drawing. This is what it looks like when it's a drawing with a 3D sphere, orb, whatever they call it in there. It's really hard to describe, but yeah, you see that stare? There's a lot of stars in there. There's not nearly that many in the toy. Another inaccuracy with that sphere. See? I mean, Bandai is only really spot on. The rest of the toy is a perfect example of that. It's like, wow, in Japan, the toys might be ridiculously expensive. I mean, apparently the amount of yen is literally $50. Matches up with how much I had to pay for a children's toy. Wow. At least we feel bad for the parents over there. Wow. But so here we have embarrassingly drawn stars that even I could draw better. I'm not kidding. I could draw better and I don't call myself an artist. Touhou, we should join up. I could draw stars better than you. And you could draw your cute girls better than me. Oh yeah, and here they're like totally trying to obscure their terribly drawn stars. It's like it's the most insults I've ever given to them, but wow, their stars look terrible. They look so much better in this picture. We might as well move on from that sphere, because wow, that is terrible. And here it proves that it is made of kirakiraru. I want to point that out. This is apparently the first weapon that the Pretty Cure is made with kirakiraru. This plastic here, it's kirakiraru. The whole thing, including the transparent layer here, it's kirakiraru. The shiny thing, kirakiraru. All this is kirakiraru. How did they perfectly form this really detailed weapon? How do people in real life own this if it's supposedly in some other dimension? And how is that cream at the end? Kirakiraru. Actually, I wonder. Nope. Still tastes like plastic. What a disappointment! I wish that the cream actually tasted like cream. But then I have those stupid ants all over my toy. We saw cream come out of the candy rod in that opening, and you know what that tells me? That tells me if cream comes out of the tip of it, maybe that cream at the end, maybe the whole inside of the weapon is all cream on the inside. What if that white in the middle section is supposed to be cream? Which was it? What if it's supposed to be cream as well? This thing is full of cream. Oh, wow, and KiraKira Pretty Cure is pretty obsessed with cream, haven't we realized that? Just look at every episode and you'll see cream everywhere. Oh yeah, and nice low quality drawing you didn't think I'd see. Oh, the bow looks weird. The bottom part looks better, and that's what I point out. I know I'm like jumping between things even more than usual. Let's look at this picture. That looks like a really awkward bump right there. I could safely say it feels comfortable in my hands, and there's lots of stars that they missed in this drawing. There's lots of stars on here. It's like I'm still comparing them like the first video, but I'm not doing it as fast. But look, that is a lot better of a transition than whatever's going on right here. That's a lot better. Your hand can safely go down there, even though no child's hand would go down there. Only an adult's hand holding a children's toy. I can't say anymore. Now, the problem with their 3D nowadays is it looks really similar to a drawing a lot of the time. But what's weird is this is from in episode 11 when the candy rod becomes formed. You can probably guess I was keeping a close eye on this series until that candy rod came out. I wanted to own that thing. Now let's zoom in. Ah, it looks like the cake is there. Oh, it's the 3D model. This is an easy way to tell a Pretty Cure. Does it have ridiculously detailed lighting? Does it have things like the insignia they always miss? Oh wow, the dome, looking closely, it looks like that column or pillar in the middle of the sphere/orb. It doesn't have those lines on it that the one out here has, which is a strange thing. Why there's lines there? They're not there in the anime. And all the stars are built around the bottom part. That's actually what the toy looked like when I initially got it. Oh my, I just realized something. Do you see that star right there? This star. It's way bigger than all the other stars. It's a giant star. That is not a toy exclusive thing. But some pictures of the 3D model version, and even that version that's a drawing with the 3D sphere with the stars in it, it didn't have the big stars. But yet this random scene from episode 11 with the really detailed bottom part that the other 3D model pictures don't even have this detailed lighting at the bottom, which if you compare it to the actual toy, its lighting matches up a lot. And I'm not just talking about in real life. if you compare it to that Buy It Today picture that we were looking at, let me find that Buy It Today picture there. Look at the lighting on the bottom of the candy rod. And then let's compare it to the other picture. As soon as it comes up again, because I'm not seeing it. Yeah, there! Right there. Compare the lighting of both of these. Don't they look similar? It makes me wonder if the toy existed before episode 11, but Bandai didn't release it yet. What if they had a prototype and they based it on, and the lighting here was based on it? Because it looks too similar to not be based on it. Oh, and the toy version has the star on the cream coming out. I would like to know if that is cream, because I'm really thinking it is cream coming out of the bottom bit. But, it still amazes me, the big stars from the toy are actually there in this random 3D model picture. The giant stars are there. They are an actual thing. It matches up with the toy way more than some of the others. But what I don't get is, okay, come on, there aren't that many stars in it, come on. The other picture was way more accurate. That's how many stars are in it. Not this many. I don't think some of those colors like cyan are even in it. Okay, never mind, there is. I keep messing up. There's a cyan one right there. But there aren't that many stars in it. I wish there were that many stars in it. I wish it was filled up. Oh yeah, and that looks like a drawing though. What confuses me about some of these 3D pictures is, why does that look like a drawing? It looks like they drew that by hand. That doesn't look 3D. But then the rest of it on screen totally looks 3D. Okay, it looks like a drawing, but you never know how good 3D could be nowadays. Who knows? That middle thing is totally 3D. And just like the Flower Tact, I'll probably get to that if I ever do a video on that toy. But it does the same thing. There's one random picture of the Flower Tact, which you can see in my first video, not the first video, but the one about the candy rod. You'll end up seeing that it has detail on its glass, and this one does too. There's stars and whatever those random patterns below them are. Really hard to see, but yes. Can we get to an angle where they're visible? They're sort of visible right there. If I move, you can see how they move differently. Let's see, there's a pattern right there at the bottom and top of this thing. Yeah, you can sort of see it if I ever rotate it around. See, there's a pattern right there. It's a bunch of stars and those, making it very accurate. It's unfortunate that they don't put this much detail into their drawings, you know. Again, cake on top. That cake looks like a drawing. It just gets me when it looks like a drawing, but the rest of it looks 3D. It's like, okay, did you all make a really high quality texture and stick it on that? And why do y'all keep forgetting it's not blue? It's gray. Actually, it's transparent. Also, again, notice how it doesn't have that realistic lighting except on this, which is cartoon or anime yellow, when this has realistic gold. There's a difference in the color. That's a problem with all toys, though. But why do they bother putting those lines on the star? Like here, there's no lines on the star, but why are there lines on the star? That's something you'd only do if it's a drawing. But there's no way they could like draw that and then put a random 3D thing, you know, stick a 3D tip on a drawing. I mean, they kind of did that with the orb thing, but still. Overall, it's very strange how they handled it in the anime with 3 different forms, various different qualities, and I don't know what those. Overall, still a really cute weapon, even if they have many weird quality levels from highest to lowest, not just 2. But I guess they're trying new things in this anime, as I'm going to state many times. But the candy rod, don't know if it's one of Pretty Cure's best weapons, but it's definitely one that I will love. Except that there's already a leak in some magazine that there's already another weapon coming out. Great. I feel like I'm being teased again, but I don't know if I'm as interested in this one. The Triple Dance Honey Batons ribbon thing didn't really interest me. This thing, on the other hand, grabbed my attention the first time I saw it. think it's a sign that maybe this weapon isn't as cool as the Candy Rod. I don't know. Let's see if any other Pretty Cure weapon grabs my attention and makes me feel teased like that one did.